Good evening, folks. It's Freddie Vasquez. Coming on real quick to discuss the term limit petitions that were submitted by Anthony Merante a little over a week ago. According to the city clerk's office, they failed to comply with the requirements of the law.
You're watching this. That's Freddie Vasquez.
Good evening, folks. It's Freddie Vasquez coming on real quick. The term limit petitions failed.
Freddie wins.
What happened? So I'm getting this information earlier this evening, but I wanted to come on really quick to talk about it because this is breaking news, right? Anthony Merante's petitions to put the term limit on the ballot to bring back to 3 terms failed to meet the requirements of the law, according to the city clerk's office today, announcing that. A lot of people are probably upset about this. So, folks, if you don't know, Anthony Merante and some other individuals were out getting petition signatures in order to put the term limit on the ballot this November. The vote would have been to bring it back to 3 terms. Originally, it was 2 terms for the city council and the mayor, 2 4-year terms, a total of 8 years. In 2019, it was changed to 3 terms. And then in 2022, it was last year. Was it this or this year? It was this year, right? It was changed. So much going on, I forget. It was changed to 4 terms. So Anthony Merante, who's also running for mayor, he's the Republican challenger going up against Mike Spano this November in the general election, was out there getting signatures on a petition, hoping to get this put on the ballot so that way people could vote this November. But unfortunately, the 5,200 signatures that he collected and turned in failed to comply with the requirements of the law. This, according to the city clerk's office. And a lot of people are not surprised. Some people said they saw this happening or they saw this coming. The city clerk's office term limit petition fails to comply with the requirements of the law. The city clerk's office has undertaken a review of the petition submitted on July 10th, 2023, seeking to amend the city charter as it relates to term limits of certain elected officials, and has determined that said petition fails to comply with the requirements of the law in that 1, there are an insufficient number of valid signatures. 2, it is untimely. And 3, it is insufficient on its face. The complete report has been provided to the city council that fully describes the insufficiencies of the petition. The complete report and petition are on file and may be examined at the office of the city clerks if you'd like to go there, over this at 40 South Broadway. So it failed. It failed. So that will not be on the ballot. It failed. And let me tell you, I knew this was going to happen. Had the signatures been found to be valid, had they moved along in the process, the next step would have been to go to the city council, who then would have reviewed the signatures and decided if they wanted to allow it to be on the ballot. So they had to kill it at the city clerk's office. They had to. So the city of Yonkers spent $28,000 in order to get an independent company to do this audit. Why? Because the city clerk is Vincent Spano, the baby brother of the mayor, Mike Spano. And so in order to assure that there were no wrongdoing, he recused himself. And instead, they hired an independent outside auditing firm, which cost the city, I believe, $28,000, $28,000. So the city spent this money, the taxpayers, for no reason, essentially, because they were deemed not to comply with the law. So again, they had to kill this with the city clerk. There was no way that they were going to allow this to move forward onto the city council and have them make the decision, because the only decision the city council was going to make was to have it on the ballot. They had no choice. It would look very bad for the city council if they were the ones that had made the decision to kill this and not allow it to go onto the ballot. Remember, it was the city council president who introduced the legislation to extend the terms in the first place, and then it was voted on by every council member except Anthony Merante, obviously, who's opposing it big time, and Corazon Pineda Isaac, who challenged the mayor in the Democratic primaries, where she lost by a lot there. And so it was, it was approved. And then there was the fourth term. So if it came back to the city council and then they killed this, not allowing it to go on the ballot, it would have made them look very bad. It would have made them, it would have been suspicious, right? It would have been obvious that the city council does not want the people to make the decision. So they had to kill it with the city council. They had to do it that way. And they can always say, well, it was an independent auditor, right? It wasn't Vincent Spano. He recused himself. And essentially, that's what the result was. So that's what happened. It's not going to be on the petition. And so, like I told my wife, people complain about the corruption. I don't want to say complain, right? That sounds like they're doing something wrong. They're not doing anything wrong by complaining about it. You should speak about it. But people speak on the corruption, or they speak about corrupt officials, but at the same time, they put it on other officials to do the right thing. It's not going to happen. If you believe that politicians are corrupt, you have to understand that probably all of them are going to be corrupt, right, for the most part. And so you can't rely on the very people that you are saying are corrupt to do what's right. And so my point is, it's up to the people. The city clerk's office, the city council members, right? If you have an issue with elected officials, if you believe that they are corrupt and that they only work in their best interest, they are all in cahoots, they all have relationships, then you cannot rely on any legal process or any, technical process or whatever to try and get the result you're looking for. It's going to take the people to come out. Instead of 5,200 signatures on petition sheets, it would be a lot more impactful if there were 5,200 people at City Hall demanding that it be on the ballot. Imagine that. That would get change. And so that's my point. It's like the term limit lawsuit. You were relying on judges who, as someone pointed out, or a couple people pointed out, were appointed by the governor, Kathy Hochul, who was recently here in Yonkers, hanging out with Nick Spano at his house. They have a relationship. The mayor has a good relationship with the governor, which I think is important for every mayor to have a good relationship with whoever the governor is, right? But some people are concerned about that relationship and how good of a relationship it is. And so they believe that there may have been some, stuff going on there when it came to the term limit lawsuit and these judges who were appointed by Kathy Hochul. So again, you can't speak on corrupt officials and talk about a corrupt system and then try to rely on that same system to provide you the justice you seek. It's up to you, the people, to come out and be vocal, be consistent. So again, imagine if instead of 5,200 signatures being submitted to the city clerk's office, there were 5,200 people at City Hall in the city council chambers demanding that it be on the ballot and being consistent at every meeting. That would make a lot more difference. So people have to come out, people have to be involved, and people have to stop relying on the legal process, on the laws that are on the books, because they create them, they rewrite them, they bend them, they break them, they ignore them, they go around them, through them. So we have to be more vocal. We have to be seen. We have to come out to meetings. We have to organize. We have to be together and be united, especially the Latinos here in the city of Yonkers, right? We have to be united. Folks, really quick before I get out of here, I just wanted to talk about that really quick. I was being told that there's a huge problem over by the Ramada on Tuckahoe Road, a huge problem with the migrants who were bused here from New York City, although they came all the way from the border. The problem with loitering along the sidewalks there, residents are complaining about migrants hanging out behind the Dunkin' Donuts on Tuckahoe there, behind the liquor. There's a liquor store there also. They're saying that there's, possible drug use going on there. There's also been complaints of migrants hanging out at the shop right on Tuckahoe. Some residents even observed them going into some of the boxes that were outside, pulling out food that was thrown out. I drive up and down Tuckahoe occasionally. I do see what I believe to be some of the migrants that were, brought here to Yonkers, walking up and down. I often see mothers with children. I've seen, a small group hanging out by the bus stop and even over by the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot. People are concerned, people who live in the area, residents, it's a quality of life issue. It's not about discriminating against the migrants. It's not about racism. It's about the quality of life, right? And the concerns for safety, and drug use, possible drug use in that shopping area where people are going to go to the Dunkin' Donuts. They're going to go to the Domino's there. Even there's also the Enterprise rental car, right? The gas stations that are there, and obviously the ShopRite. And I did report about tuberculosis, a possible tuberculosis outbreak, which I was told about by several residents of the city who reached out to me. That wasn't confirmed. I did reach out to city officials. They said they didn't hear anything. The Westchester County Health Department did not get any reports, according to city officials. But I at least want to put it out there just, to be careful. Again, be careful. They also felt a little concerned for their safety. I don't know if they're going to do anything to migrants, but, sometimes people get a little, I get it, but, there hasn't been any reports of anyone being attacked or robbed or any criminal, any violent assaults or anything like that, robbing people, nothing like that. So I don't want to create anything or say anything, but, people may just naturally be intimidated by a group of individuals who are kind of just loitering, right? So I could understand their concern. So, maybe the Yonkers police could check that out. Maybe just have some more patrols there and make sure that people are not out there just loitering, creating a problem for the quality of life for the people in that area, because people in Yonkers pay a lot in taxes, right? Property owners, right? Pay a lot. And by the way, just another example of how effective basement politics is. Today, we took the kids to a park off, what road is that? I'm not sure what street that is. It's near Palmer. It's in the back over there. I don't know what it's called. But anyway, I had mentioned a house that was being built there, and the stairs that were too close to the street. Literally, the last step was maybe a foot away from the street, right? It's like you went off from the last step onto the curb and then right onto the street. And so I went live and I showed this while the workers were there, the contractor was there working and stuff. And I said, is this okay? Is this, did the building department approve this? I mean, this doesn't look legit. A little kid could be coming down these stairs, trip on the last step and end up in the street. And so today, as I was over there with the kids in the park near the home, I noticed that they changed the stairs. And believe it or not, it looks a lot better. It looks a lot nicer, actually. So they shortened the stairs. They brought the stairs back. There's a lot more space between the stairs and the curb there, the edge of the curb and the street. They widened the steps. They look a lot nicer. So it's a great idea. I'm glad I told you guys that, because not only is it safer, not only is it legit, it looks a lot nicer. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Just all in a day's work. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. That's what we're here to do. Shout out to all of you folks here in the city of Yonkers. If you have any information, videos, or anything that you would like me to look into. And again, I kind of have like people things to look into are in a queue. So excuse me, I'm trying to get to it along with my life. I'm trying to get to my life too. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get my life. So I will, get to it, but send me the stuff, send me the video, politicwithfred@gmail.com. politicwithfred@gmail.com. Shout out to everyone here. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Enjoy your week. And I'm sorry, Merante. I'm sorry, you guys that were hoping that this would be successful, but come on, you really didn't think it was going to happen, right? You didn't. You shouldn't have gotten your hopes up if you did. You shouldn't have. So that's a little bit on you. Just kidding. Just kidding. It's very disappointing. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics. This is a place where truth lives and corruption dies. Shout out to the people that watch this show and make things happen when I speak on it. And the reason why I mentioned that, one, because it wasn't safe, those stairs, right? And two, they were giving me a hard-ass time over a vinyl banner. A vinyl banner, the building department, drove the landlord so crazy over this vinyl banner that I see many places, many places, businesses. I see them on homes, side of buildings, and I'm wondering if they all have permits for those temporary banners. And that was an issue, me and the landlord. So now I say things. I go and I inspect everything. Since you guys want to be on things, we're going to be on things, right, Sammy? I'm your best friend now. I'm going to point out things that need to be pointed out. So thank you for checking that out. Make sure that it was corrected because, again, it was dangerous. It was very dangerous. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you. It's like the fire hydrant, the potholes, some people not getting jobs, the checking of the overtime. My bad, guys. My bad. Listen, we got to audit. We got to hold people accountable, and start signing those timesheets, supervisors. I don't want to see any more timesheets without any supervisor's signatures or the employee's signature. Someone's going to take responsibility for timesheets that have extra time that was not worked, okay? I'm not playing with you guys no more. Supervisors, you better be signing the timesheets. You better inspect them because you will be held accountable for any employee that's overpaid, right? We done paid too much money now. Millions of dollars in payments to individuals that did not earn those hours. It's not okay. And they found missing signatures on these timesheets, right? No one's signing them. They're turning them in and they're still paying the individuals. No way. My employees got to sign it. Always had to sign it. Always. Sign the timesheets and make sure they're not being paid for hours that were not earned. City Stratford Cash.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez. You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddie Vasquez.
Freddie wins.